Matt here from Matt's Movies, Music and More, welcoming you to this week's movie review episode. This one's going to be a very short one because I saw this video a couple of weeks ago and I've forgotten quite a lot about it, dare I say. I know it's a bad way to start this video, but I wanted to do my research in advance and I watched it and I can't really remember a lot about it, but I do remember that it doesn't have a very complicated plot. So with all that jargon out the way, the movie that I've decided to talk about today is the 1989 movie Wilt, which in America was released as The Misadventures of Mr. Wilt. This is a film which is directed by Michael Tuchner and it stars Griff Rhys-Jones, Mel Smith and Alison Steadman. And the movie really essentially focuses on Henry Wilt, played by Griff Rhys-Jones, who is a guy who's in a very boring kind of relationship. He's a teacher at a school, and he's kind of a laughingstock teacher, and he thinks he's better than everyone else, and his wife is constantly nagging him, his wife being played by Alison Steadman, and all of a sudden she goes missing and he immediately gets accused of murdering her. And so it's a real murder mystery movie, and Mel Smith plays Inspector Flynn, and he is the guy that is basically on Griff's case all the time, on Mr. Wilt's case, and he's looking for him, and the whole movie is that Wilt is being caught out all the time. So there's things like he gets caught tied up to inflatable dolls and stuff like that, and people are accusing him. They're like, "Oh, you killed your wife," and stuff like that. He's like, "I have no idea where my wife is. I didn't kill her." And Mel Smith's police officer is very OTT, and it's an interesting movie because when you see the picture, you kind of think that the movie is kind of going to be very similar to the series that Smith and Jones did in the late 80s, because for those of you out there who don't know who Griff and Mel are, they are two guys that were actors and comedians that got their big break in the late 70s, early 80s TV series Not Like Hot News. And then they would go on to subsequently get their own TV series called Smith and Jones and Alas Smith and Jones. And they were really funny guys. And with this movie, I mean, this movie is based on a book which was written by Tom Sharp called Wilt from 1976. And it is a weird one because, like I say, I always remember seeing the cover as a kid and I always thought, this looks fun. And when I watched it, I was like, well, you know, the cover is kind of misleading. It looks like a very fun, quirky movie. It's a very odd one. I'm not going to say it's a bad movie because it's not a bad movie, but it doesn't really warrant repeat viewing from me, dare I say it. And I don't really want to slag it off because I like the people involved. I think Griff is great in the lead role. I think Mel is a little bit underused, to be honest, and Alison Steadman's only in it for little bits here and there. It's got a lot of actors you may have seen in other British television, but again, it's not really something that stands out, so hence why this movie review today is relatively short. But what I will say is that if you are fans of Griff and Mel, you should definitely check out their TV work, especially with Not Like Hot News and their TV series Alas Smith and Jones and Smith and Jones. They did make a movie together actually in the early 1980s, I think in 1985, which I've not seen, which I hope to maybe cover on the channel at one point, called Morons from Outer Space. Now, I will go on briefly about their careers because Griff is still working to this day. He's been involved in numerous television and film. Mel got into doing directing and directed movies, including the movie Bean, the ultimate movie disaster, which was a good one to direct. And he'd done some other movies as well. And he passed away within the last couple of years, which is a shame. But I thought it was an okay movie, Will. I mean, it doesn't really stand out, but there you go, I guess. So you can't win them all with this channel, I'm afraid, sorry. So what did you guys think of Wilt? Have you guys seen it? Are you fans of Smith & Jones? If so, let us know, and it'd be great to hear from you. Don't forget to check us out on the official Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. You can find out all the information on there for upcoming videos and previous videos as well. So thank you very much, everybody, and all the very best to you. Bye.